I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Neighborhood schools are the hearts of a community. It's where our kids learn, meet, and make friends. Friends they know in school and can associate with after school. It's why parents connect with other parents. Closing schools changes this and make our kids stranger in an unfamiliar neighborhood. Together, let's find a solution to reopen our schools and help them flourish.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
But there's a long tradition of these types of voices of conscience. So I just immersed myself in the world of St. Sabina and spent time with Father Mike and his peacekeepers and the community there and tried to learn as much as I could.
We love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
My participation is only because of Mr. Spike Lee, our leader, our director, and he reached out to me and blessed me with the opportunity to be in this film and said that his mission was to save lives in the south side of Chicago.
I'll just say like this. First of all, the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, letting me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
We are more than that. We are more than that. We're greater than that. And I feel like in places like this, or Chicago, or whatever you want to call it, the hood, whatever you want to call it, like, it's too much attention dwelled on the negative.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Hi, we're from Empire, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
So how long have you been standing here?
Not too long, like an hour. So we're moving in fast. This is a good sign.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
And you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network. Put your hand right.
Willie, we've got more questions than I think we've been asked for the entire year. Okay. This is from Karen Riley, who heads up the Business Leadership Council. Her question is, in a recent CMAP study, Plan 2050, they stated that the city of Chicago is not growing as fast as other cities because of economic disparities between the black community and the city as a whole. When you are mayor, what is going to be the most impactful action you can take?
I think as it relates to the economic part of things, whether you Caucasian female or African American female, or male, vice versa, or lesbian, gay, straight or non-straight, we must make sure that the equality exists as related to fairness in contracts and job, and must put together a oversee group that I would take to make sure that fairness is done. Create a task force with community, lawyers, accountants, inspector generals, and even the IRS to investigate on a quarterly basis every position in City Hall. Anybody caught breaking the law, arrest them right on site.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. I don't know who person didn't put their name on this, but it's a good question, so we'll excuse their being chicken, I'm afraid. What's your plan to bridge the gap with millennials? How would you include this community in your new administration? How about women? And what would you do with the existing leaders?
The young people are obviously different than from what I came up with. But we have included them within our administration. In fact, we're also supporting them to run for office today. One of them right here now, stand up one. Young man right here. And more. What we did do last Monday night, I held a live, what do you call those things? Internet? Online. I held a live online with the young people. Oh yeah, I got them over there, you know? All right. So I held this here. So Nina put it together and the rest of the crew, and some of the young men you see with the camera, they are involved. They're young people involved. But we held that online, and guess what? In less than 1 hour or so, and the very next day, we attracted ideas and questions from them over close to 10,000 young people.
Okay, this is from Mr. Charles Gardner, says he's retired, former Roosevelt University trustee. Mr. Wilson, there are so many candidates, including, as you said, 7, 8, 15 African-American candidates. Is there any chance the field will narrow, either by attrition or a combination of candidates? I guess he's referring to a slate.
Well, if it don't narrow, I'm going to narrow it further, right? They're going to fall out by flies, all right? They're going to fall out by flies, all right? All right? But as I said before, look, who has the experience? Who has the business experience? Who has a proven record?
You do.
Look back at my record. Look back at my record. Look back at my record. These people are talking about what they don't do, and I said, look at me what I've already, look at me what I've already have done. Look at me what I've already have done. Right! I said, they need to get out of the race before we put them out the race. Right?
As we used to say, the proof is in the pudding. This is from Mr. Eric Delibori with Urban Gateways. A little different kind of question, but a very important one. What is your position on public funding for the arts? And of course, today we just learned that that wonderful painting at the Legler Library will be reinstalled for everyone in Chicago and those communities to enjoy. So the question deals with the arts.
I was at the Art Institute in Chicago a few years back with me and my wife, a while back. We didn't know much about art. I mean, we got our art was picking cotton, you know? That's all we had, right? And our art was our imagination, all right? But as we began to look at the art come in many forms, music, you know, flowers. I support it, honestly with you. I just like to see, as we think about doing these things together, I like to see the equality in art from all nationalities. That's right. I support it. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Chicago have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change. With your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for mayor for the city of Chicago.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hi, I'm Regina McDonald. I'm here on behalf of Willie Wilson. He does a lot of charity and donations at churches, and particularly my church, Greater Tabernacle, 9712 South Vincennes. Come out and join, but I will be voting for him, and I believe in the right way, and I believe that he can lead us the right way. It's a lot of them out here, and it's just ridiculous of the city of Chicago how politics is now. So I'm gonna take my chance on Willie Wilson, hopefully that he'll be the right person.
Well, how you doing? My name is Rodney Williams. Yes, and I'm here today to help Willie Wilson become, the mayor of the city of Chicago, because Rahm Emanuel is not doing a good job as the mayor of the city of Chicago. He wants the city to be a state, and we don't need, the city of Chicago to be a state. We need it just as it is, because all he has is appointed people in his office. We don't need no appointed people. We need people who's going to help the city of Chicago and is going to run it like his city is supposed to be ran. So I think that, all of the black folks that's really running for the city of Chicago mayoral race, it's going to be a split vote. So I think that it should have been one black person that's running for the city of Chicago, and I think it should have been Willie Wilson, and I think that he would do a great job.
Jose Acevedo. The pastor would like to know, what kind of help and support do you need from the pastors to help you in bringing change to the city? What can we do instead of what can we get?
Well, right now we've been meeting on a weekly basis now. On a weekly basis, we're attracting 250, 300 or more pastors on a weekly basis, putting the signs in the window, calling your friends, supporting us on social media. We ask you to, at the end of your service, to make sure you have the people to vote for the right choice in this candidate. And we just ask one question that you ask the people, join us in making a difference. And look, you can donate to WillieWilsonForMayor.com You can donate $1 a week or 1 penny a week, and you can help in that way. But understand this here too. If you don't help, it's okay. When I become mayor, I'm going to help you anyway, all right?
I still have time for a few questions. This is from Bert Howard. Bert, where are you? You here with us?
Yeah, he's right there.
Okay, yes. You're out there, I just can't see. He wants to know, how will you go about bringing the trade schools and the programs that they offered back? And what can, I guess he's a professional certified trainer, may have an MBA. He wants to know, and he says he's ready to serve, so have one of your people catch him before he leaves today. I guess this deals with vocational training and so on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look at it this way. If you focus on the human being first, that are disadvantaged people, that is. You know, to give an example, you got to take grant, create grant money, invest into the future of our country. And you got to put those grants together and set up trade in schools, in churches, community centers. We must bring in the people to do that with. I suggest would be out of the casino, out of the Medfield, out of the marijuana sales, tax it, and everything. I suggest you take 10% of new revenues come in, use that, those resources to help not only with the trade within the school, but also families who hit hard time to bail them out. If we can bail out corporations with taxes, why can't we set money aside to bail out our citizens?
I've got two very similar questions from two members of the clergy, Bishop Ben Anderson and the Reverend Frank Phillips. I don't know if they've been victimized or what, but they want to know, how are you going to eliminate the red light camera, and when will you do it? How soon after you're elected mayor?
Look, I don't like red light camera because I got a ticket myself, you know? And I figured I didn't run that red light camera. And I was mad about it, so when I got home, my wife showed me the thing why I did run it, you know? But I still didn't like it. Because some people cannot afford to pay those tickets. And they put them in jail. And when they put them in jail, they lose their job. You got to figure another way out to deal with it. But the first thing that I would do, we got to look at the contracts of those red light cameras. Day one, when that contract expires, it would not be any more red light in Chicago, because I don't want to get no more tickets. So, we would do it that way. We would eliminate, look at those contracts, and those contract ends. We would not allow such a thing to hamper the needed and to put us in jail. You waste more dollars that way through $166 a day that it costs to keep a person in jail. And look, so it costs that much, and you can't get bailed out, and the prison and all the uniform and all the other things goes in there, you're not really making any money. But what has happened is that they give it to their friend, and how you know that? Because you look at their donor list. When they run for re-election, millions and millions of dollars. It's a racket. It's a racket. We'll cut it out. It's a racket. We'll cut it out. We'll cut it out. We'll get rid of it. So help me God. We'll get rid of it. So help me God. We'll get rid of it. So help me God.
City Club member Gabriel Mitchell. She's affiliated with the Angel Flight Marketing Services. The question is, do you think Chicago's business community is ready for an African American mayor? What are your plans to increase the engagement and use of African American businesses within Chicago.
I'm going to say this, whether they're ready for an African American mayor or not, they're going to get one. Brad, out here, this is a free country. They're going to get one. They're going to get one in another 3 months or so. They're going to get one in another 3 months or so. Another 3 months or so. We'll take it and gotten people out of jail. We'll personally have invested, putting youth in business. We bought vans, landscape equipment, and we'll teach in the classes. We'll engage with our youth. The problem is a lot of youth don't have the money, the resources. That's what makes it so tough. You know, we have to create grants to get them into business. After they succeed into business, then they can pay those dollars back. Because this is our future. This is our future. Whether you're black or white or green or yellow, whichever one you happen to be, we still are connected from hip to hip in this thing. And we must take some of that money that you have, put it over here and help us in these foundations. Put it in and help us. I reached out to a lot of the major white corporations last week to ask them and talk to them. I reached out to them. And I'm giving an invitation. Whether they accept it or not, I don't know. But I have reached out my speaker for my campaign spokesperson. He's white, he's right there. You know, we'll reach out to all the Caucasian business that we possibly can see, so that we can start talking right now. Talking about trade, straighten out the city of Chicago, straighten out this violence from being hijacked up on Lakeshore Drive and then North Lakeshore Drive, the Gold Course, smashing, snatching, grab. We're in this thing together. I reached out for them. I want you guys to reach out to me if you're not too afraid. I'm African American, I ain't doing nothing to you.
This is from someone, Squeen 500, I don't know, can't read. Affiliated with the famous players. It's all about youths. If you could get them to put the guns down, what can you provide for them to pick up?
When I become mayor, they will put the guns down, because we're going to make sure that. We're going to make sure that the dollars that we, economically speaking, equality and jobs and all contracts reflect its 7-7 community proportionally and fairly, put the trade, the training in those particular communities so they can pick up jobs that we have to offer them versus picking up the drugs and picking up the guns. Nobody wants to be broke in their homes and everything. We got them out of jail. They said, look, Doc, you guys out of jail, just give us a job. We won't mess with drugs. We won't rob nobody. But let me just tell you this, 13-year-old young man came up to me, had these braces on their legs and everything. He said, Dr. Wilson, he said, how do you expect me to put down a gun when my mother is on drugs, my sister's on drugs, and I got a 4-year-old brother in the house, ain't got no food to eat, and I'm hungry. And I'm going out tonight and rob somebody, unless you can replace me with something else. I know what? I told you, man, this here, and the person who brought them to me, 3 of them, 3 other guys that brought them in, these guys out of the game, brought people to me. We were sitting with them 1 week, trying to help take care of this problem. The following week, 3 of those same guys were dead. I asked you to join forces with me. I asked you to join forces with me. I asked you to join forces with me to help us all. We'll stop it. We'll put resources. We'll put resources there. We'll put resources there.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it for Dr. Willie Wilson.
Kowalski.
Is $2 Maggiano's gift certificate to the Reverend Dr. Krumala. Are you here? Yeah. Good. You come up afterward, see Shelby, you'll have take the award, you'll have your picture taken with Dr. Wilson, and Willie, this is a one-year gift certificate. You notice it says candidate for mayor. Next time you come back, we may change this order. Absolutely. God bless you, and don't forget to vote.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Chicago is a big city, 234 square miles. We have 50 aldermen to watch over our neighborhood, but only one police superintendent. As mayor, I will add 3 more superintendents and form separate districts for them to be responsible for and bringing top management to the police force closer to our citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
I'm going to ask every one of you to come to this stage. We're going to pray for Dr. Wilson.
Dios Todopoderoso,
Aleluya.
tú eres el creador del cielo y de la tierra. Nos hiciste a nosotros para ti, para que te amemos, te sirvamos, para que te obedezcamos, para que gobernemos en este mundo, para que tu paz repose sobre él. Y este es el hombre que, como David, Señor, está amándote, está representando, Señor, tu corazón a esta ciudad,
para que apoye la candidatura del doctor Willie Wilson. Nosotros estamos con él. Él es la respuesta a nuestras oraciones. Él es el cambio que necesitamos. Un caballero lleno del Espíritu de Dios, con la sabiduría de Dios, con el gobierno de Dios, en la alcaldía de Chicago. Lo bendecimos. Doctor Willie Wilson, te bendecimos en el nombre de Jesús. Y te declaramos el próximo alcalde. Declaramos que eres el próximo alcalde de la ciudad de Chicago. En el nombre de Jesús.